There are some things that don't seem to exist with an intended audience, but just seem to exist because fuck it, why not? In MulletMan, we inject ourselves with an unknown substance, and then fuck it, why not? The game starts. From an objective, simplistic standpoint, MulletMan is a very simple 2D platformer where you run around jumping on bad guys' heads or shooting them with a machine gun, although jumping is much easier, avoiding unfair death traps, and ultimately finding keycards to make your way to the end of the game. Some of the enemy placements and traps are deliberately designed to be bullshit, but the checkpoints are very frequent, so you really don't need anything but time to finish the game, regardless of how nonsense the game tries to be with its challenge. The most interesting facet of the gameplay are teleporters which zip you around to other parts of the map without any clue of where you're going. And this can be exciting the first few times, but then you realize that usually it's going to teleport you right into a death trap or just another teleporter, and there's very little puzzle solving to be had with these teleporters. The game is a short 13 minutes, and although there are a couple of cases where you can loop back around on yourself if you're not careful, if you're paying careful attention to your surroundings and have a good eye for where you're going, things will be fine and the game will be finished without too much trouble. The developer obviously wanted to coast on the messed up scenery with impaled versions of you, hung versions of you, and just general gruesomeness in this dystopian atmosphere that they've created, but the core gameplay is simply very, very uninspired. But something tells me they didn't really care about you looking at this game. Do you think they cared if the gameplay was uninspired while they made this particular game? Because I cannot imagine they did. There is no kind of resolution to the disturbing scenery either. You just jump through this really weird, gross hellscape, which I'm a fan of, I will admit. I'm a fan of the really weird, gross hellscape, and then you get trapped in a cage at the end. Yeah, that's right, after making your way through the final labyrinth, you land in a cage. It just says the end, and if you press left and right fire at the same time, text saying men and women appears at the bottom. What the fuck?